my life. Okay, here. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm here. I tried a new technique. Thought my computer might give me a Hail Mary, but it did not work. But I'm going to start my Winnie the Pooh sketch because all of my friends are requesting all this stuff for their kids now. And of course, it has to be Disney. This is why I can't do Happy Skulls today, because I love my friends. So I think without my friends, I wouldn't have got as far as I do. Alright, so I'm just gonna put this here. And I move my monitor so I'm not always moving my head over. Oh good, I got somebody. How you doing? I was gonna start the story of the long neck man. And I'm still on live chat. If you guys want to talk, it's fine too. But I figured instead of having the dead silence, I'm a horror writer. And since these things are published, I figured, why not? So, and my friends, oh my god, hang on, let me grab. I made a Tigger yesterday while I was on a test stream. Alright, where's the thing? Anyways, I made this in my live stream when I was my test one on my computer, which went horribly bad. So I'm gonna make a Winnie the Pooh and Piglet one. And what I do is I take these pastels that are the chalky kind, because this is kind of what Disney does. I'm being my one art teacher, she died. All of my people that actually are teaching me how to do this are masters at their craft, and they have Alzheimer's. And they see me as their child. So she doesn't believe in painting. She was a pastel artist in her day. Had a big name, and apparently her sketch paintings was a lot of money. Back in the day, they was paying like $500 for them, and back then, that's now with inflation was probably like $1,000. So I go show her my sketchings, laugh out loud. She'll tell me, "Oh, it's getting there." So she's a very good art teacher. My one died, the one that did all the stuff for the Cleveland Indians, which is not the Cleveland Indians no more, but he passed away, and I thought my teachings was gone. Oh, hi. What is it? Archiqua? I'm just going to call you friend, because I don't think I'm going to pronounce your name right. But I'm going to start Winnie the Pooh, and I want to start the story of the long neck man. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh, my friend, I did Tigger yesterday on the test stream, and it failed, and it's okay. I did Tigger, and since they like these so much, my friends, I gave it to the wrong person because 2 people had a baby in my building. And where I work at, I'm calling it the asylum these days, because sometimes I think they hate me, but then they don't. People are leaving and coming just like an asylum. So me and the one girl that's been there for years, we call it the asylum. But I just do this in Disney style. That's how they get their cloudiness. Like, when you see them and you go, "Oh, that's a great sketch." And even if you're a great sketch artist, it's the canvas that makes Disney great. I'm showing you the secrets of the Disney canvas. And this is what the professionals do at Disney. So, And I've learned this because I take care of great artists that are now on their way to heaven. So, and then they go through the period because people are being kept alive longer than they're supposed to be. So, this is what I do. I take care of them and we talk about something different. People don't want to hear that. Yeah, I'm doing that too. I could do lots of things at the same time, my friend. I'm a multitasker. When you're in medical, you're a multitasker. You're humble and you see the worst of things, and you're very humble and you multitask. That's what you do in medical. Hell, sometimes we sit there and look at the residents and go, oh, this is what I'm going to be like when I'm a resident. We make these jokes all the damn time at work. It's crazy, but it's true. You see the end. And you're not afraid to die because you see all these other people dying around you and you take care of them, and it's our mission to make sure that they're comfortable, but we see how necessary it is and how it is to have acceptance. So sometimes I think it makes you a better person when you see other people's pain, because you see that your pain is not just you. I mean, it's universal pain. But sometimes it's better, you're better off dead, just like in Pet Sematary. But yeah, bring on your reading. Bring on your question, sorry. And then I got my cards over here. But while I'm waiting on your question, I'm going to start the story of Long Neck Man, since this is a published thing. And after I do that, it's published. So if someone stole my story or decided they wanted to try to do a 200-page short story, they wouldn't get very far. Because very soon I'm going to be having my computer and I'm going to be getting Lily in the Darkness out there. And I'm going to be paying, now that I'm on budget, I'm going to be paying to get that done and self-published. And I will for sure give you guys a link. Because this is, before I had all these teachers that were half dead, this is what I do. I write. A good writer writes, and that's it. So, well, let's see this question. I want to know what my crush, Sahora, having thoughts for me. He's my crush in no contact. Don't know if somebody has come in his life or not. I can see his energy field with romance for you. And to see what I see. I really can't tell you what he's actually feeling because nobody can. That's what makes this realm great. Our emotions and all that are a secret. That's why people like Hitler and all that emerge. Because if anybody was able to stop something like that, there would be no Hitlers and mass destruction. But in this realm, we choose if we want to destroy or create or what we want to do. I decide to try to bring peace with my energy. Some people decide to bring peace by conflict and destruction. I guess it's one way to do it, but it causes a lot of negative things. A lot. And it's not good. Because forever Hitler will be known as the man that tortured many Jewish people. And he was half Jewish, so that's how his legacy is going out. Which nobody wants that. So. But I will let you know I can pick up his energy. His romance energy, and I'm picking this up through you. I don't know this person, just so you know. He is in a new moon in Leo, and this is talk about it. He has low self-esteem, and he just pretty much has low confidence, low self-esteem, and stuff like that. He doesn't feel he has good self-worth. That's what is going on in his romance sector. And then he has a full moon in Sagittarius surrounding his romance and fixed moon. And a full moon in Sagittarius just says for him to look beyond himself. And to look at the bigger picture just means you have an ego. And you're not exposing your inner self. So he's egotistical right now. So he's probably got a big head, I'm thinking. It's looking to me. And he thinks that he can get anyone he wants. And when you think this way, you cannot get anyone you want. Then he has a fixed moon with holding. That means just hold your vision, hold your dreams. I don't see anybody. I see him being picky. I do see that in his energy field. And I see him thinking he can get the hottest girl. He's trying to get other people, but no one's flocking to him because he's egotistical. And he's coming off like a bit of an ass. I will tell you that. So, if you really want, if there's any way of getting in contact with him, you gotta lure him in like fishing. People that are egotistical, you gotta be broken down. And when you break them down, you gotta break them down emotionally. So, his energies for you is nothing. He's kind of over things. He doesn't really think of things in that way. He's thinking about where all his opportunities are. That's what he's thinking about. If you want him, you're going to have to kind of call him out. I would call him out, and he's not going to get the girl he wants to get. He's trying to get these people that could get anybody they want. And the people that are like very beautiful, he's going after physical beauty. So he doesn't hate you, but he's flying his own way. So I would just literally just go be the badass, would be my suggestion. And when you do these things, when you become the badass, as they say, and you just don't care, that's when they start coming and flocking. And I will tell you that. Because men like a strong woman. They don't like a woman that's always sitting there being needy, saying I love you and everything. They hate that. They really do. And I will tell you that. I've been told I think like a man more than a woman. When I was dating and I seen a man and he got attitude, I literally called him on it immediately. And I treat them like shit until they treated me better. So that's kind of where you got to be. And then if you're any other way and you feed in their ego, it's like you're a doormat. You don't want to be a doormat. And this is what people look for. And the thing is the people that maybe that he's trying to court, they're going to take his money, get his drink money and all that, but they're not going to sleep with him. And if they do, they're going to leave him. So you got to show them you're the stronger person and you don't care. The minute you show them you don't care, that's when they're all coming to your front door wanting to know what you're doing. I literally have this attitude every day of my life, and everybody comes to my front door and bothering me. I'm 50 years old and married and still have love triangles, and it's crazy. I got an ex-husband and an ex-fiance, and I have a husband. And all three of them are like in these love triangles where I'm friends with all three of them, and they all wish they can come back to me. And I just tell the other two, you ruined it. I'm not going back. To me, I guess I would make. Oh, you're welcome. To me, I would just see. I mean, I don't know how old you are. I mean, I'm 51, but if you're younger, I don't know. It's just sometimes a maturity level in people. Yeah, I'll give you a VB now. VB now. Yeah, lay on your question. Yeah, I would literally just pretend you don't care. Have an open mind, and there you go. You're in your 20s. Oh, God, that's the worst. When they're in their 20s, you're talking about when the testosterone for a guy is at its highest, which means he's trying to have sex with anybody he can have sex with. Get men calm down and want to get married in their 30s. So if you want to catch him, play him at his own game. That's how you deal with a 20-year-old man. And I will tell you that. You get cocky, you tell him you don't give a shit, and that's it. And you show him what you're worth. And when he gets hurt by someone else, and I'm sure he will sleep with somebody because people like booty calls these days. They really do. They enjoy the booty calls. So I would just move on. Whatever you gotta do, eat ice cream or whatever, because honestly, when you get older, you'll be alright. You're gonna have a bunch of people flacking because, as my son say, it's easier for a woman to get a man than a man to get a woman. Because yeah, the women, they may come along for a minute, but they're out for your money. They're out for what they can get, and then they leave. And he's gonna find that out. And then you might not want him back. I'm doing Winnie and Piglet for someone else. I forgot who it was, but I'm sure someone will want it at work. I'd rather be drawing skulls, but this is how much I love my friends. I've been friends with them for a decade, so. But yeah, that's my advice to you. I would just, if you don't think about it, he may come back. He's going to have to get hurt first. And I do see him getting hurt. I see him getting hurt real bad. And then that's when he's going to come and talk to you. And I do see that. But that's up to you. When he does come back, make him suffer. Make him reflect on what he's doing. Why should you sit there and suffer when you did nothing wrong? I mean, it's just what it is. They're men in their 20s. They're asses. My sons and my younger son that just broke up with his girlfriend. Well, actually, she just did a whole crazy number on him. He was being an egotistical asshole for a while. He even stopped talking to me for a little bit because I told the damn truth. A year later, now he's telling me you should have listened to me, and the girl left him, and he has all kinds of problems. And this is what's going to happen with this guy. He's going to do what my son did. But it's different because I'm his mother, so that's my predictions on this one. So I would literally go have fun, go put on some lipstick and everything. And I'm not saying go whoring around. I'm not at all. I'm all for, if you can not have sex with somebody, please don't. Because men in their 20s, literally, I'm a mother of 2 boys. I know how men talk about women. And even though my son just broke up with this girl, he plans to go use a bunch of women for sex to get over her. I tell him it's not right, but this is what he chooses to do. So, Be careful of rebound guys. I will tell you that, because they are not out for relationship at all. They're going to be nice to you till they get what they want, and then it's going to be over. Oh, I'll give anybody the advice. I never had any girls. I wish I did. Because if I did, I don't know, if I did, she'd be one hell of a bitch. And she'd probably be and be with it, and she'd probably be like the damn president of the United States. But I'm here to empower women and men, because some men are good, some women are good, some women are bad. It's equaled out. When I was growing up, men were horrible, and women were the good. A lot of times were being oppressed. Now everyone's oppressed. So that's how it is. Alright. I don't know. I got Piglet this over here so far. But yeah. And this is the true facts. And I say this because I care about people. And I care about humanity. And I like to speak the truth. People don't like to hear the truth when I speak it. But it's because the truth hurts. And your little crush is going to find out the truth hurts. And he's going to get hurt so bad, he's going to be scarred. Because he's going to... What happens with this is when you literally screw someone over... Oh, I might have to move that. When you screw someone over to the point of no return, the energy gets returned to you, no matter what. You're going to get you're going to get it back. It's going to say, thank you, here was your energy, there you go. And when that energy gets returned, it's going to be somebody that he thinks he really likes. So there's going to be a while for this one to come back. And like I said, you might not want it back. There's a lot of repercussions to that. Oh, well, thank you. Most people think I'm crazy and they don't like listening to me because they say I hurt people's feelings. I don't candy coat anything. I've lived a long time. I've watched my mother die right in front of me. I was the one that called and told everyone she died. She was like in hospice type thing. I've seen life in a lot of different ways, and I tell you, you're going to deal with a lot worse in your life than this guy. You absolutely will. And these are true facts. You are going to be plagued by a lot of stuff. And maybe this is just for you to get prepared for your life. You're going to be like me, and then hopefully you give someone else advice when you get wise and live a long time, like me. I mean, that's all I ask in return. I don't mind helping out the realm, because I'm only going to be here another 50 years, and my stories will be out. My streams will be. But I'm all for trying to help people. And I'm hoping that someone else picks my brain up one day. Maybe I'll get lucky. I have had dreams of a little girl, but of course my older son's pregnant, wife is pregnant. Maybe that's the girl. And laugh out loud. Maybe the girl he's going to have the girl and I'm going to have another boy. Maybe I am going to be pregnant, but it'll probably be with another boy. Because I take all this damn stuff they have that's supposed to help me. And it's making me so damn healthy, I can have a kid. So, who knows? But me and my son, it was funny as hell. You'll laugh. He was We're sitting there having this discussion because he's having this baby shower and they're spending like $10,000 on it and have professional photographers and all this crazy shit. Then they was like, "Mom, there's gonna be professional photographers and all this," and I was like, "Brandon, I'm in front of camera almost every day. I'm good." I said, since I've been sick, I've lost weight. I look better than I did before. I'm not worried about it. And then he was just like, "Oh, but you gotta be nice to her." And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, this woman drives me insane. And she got snotty with me, and I hurt her feelings. But she does not hate me because she was very egotistical when they first met, and I don't like egotistical people at all. Not at all. I will sit there and I will cuss someone out. And I did. I thought it was the end and I didn't have to deal with her no more. But all of a sudden she forgave me. So now I gotta be nice. And that's fine. I'll be nice. If that's what the world wants me to do, to be nice to the crazy woman. But I told Brandon, I was like, I look very good on camera. I'm not worried about it. It's crazy. You get on YouTube and you get somewhat and my God, thank you guys so much. I had no clue that I was doing that well in shorts. I'm very competitive with my shorts. Very. I come from Facebook. That's how you survive on just your reels. They call them reels over there, and I've been locked out of Facebook for a while because I was hacked. And I am so tired of the sound of silence. I put out an Imagine Dragons one, and I do a lot of Snapchat little videos, editing, because I don't believe anybody should have to spend thousands of dollars and pay somebody to do your advertisement. If you can't do your own damn videos and you're an artist, you got problems. Just like I'm doing this for cover art for my book. So I put out some and I got 1.2K on some of them. And I want to be number one in shorts. Since we're not calling these reels over here, I'm okay with it. It's whatever. We'll call it shorts since it's called shorts. But I'm telling you guys, I'm very competitive. And I am going to get number one in shorts. Because I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve. I am very good at editing. I've been on Facebook for years. And I know very good Facebook editing. And this is what I do. Everybody, my husband thinks it's insane. He was just like, "Oh God, somebody's getting competitive." With my last one I did, and I'm going to keep it going until I get really good, because some of these shorts, I get it. And they are good at their craft, but you know what? I can freestyle stories. This is what I do. I'm half deaf. I will share that with you guys. I have had hearing damage since I was younger due to a lot of ear infections. I guess probably that's why I'm in medical, honestly. Because I'm so used to the hospital. I already know what they're going to do half time, because I spent a lot of my time in the hospital when I was younger because I always had ear infections and stuff like that. And then I've been in ICU and this and that, and it just never ended for me. So, and I don't regret it. I mean, it happened for a reason, and look at where I'm at now. Now I'm in medical, so. But I do have an unnatural obsession with being competitive, and I am going to be I just want to rank number one in shorts. I don't care how many subscriptions I get. I don't. That is up to you guys. You guys have your own free will on this. And I'm okay. honestly, if you like me or don't like me, because this is a great thing about free will. And I'm glad you guys do like me, because I'd like to be here. I mean, these are true facts. And I've met a lot of people in my time doing this at work and just in life. And when I go and I meet the different peoples and experiences, I see different things, and I see kind of how life is, because like I was joking around with my friend Shatara at work. I told her I live in a cave because she's telling me about her wedding and how people are trying to rip her off with all kinds of cost, and I guess she's making payments. Her wedding's $17,000. And they're trying to rip them off, and it was like something about strawberries. She was like having like a snap table done, and they were charging $500 to put out chocolate covered strawberries. I told her that I could do that for free. I was like, I would be having people do that for free if it was me. Or I'd be doing my own damn self, because you guys know me. I don't care. I'll do it my damn self, and that's it. I have always been very self-efficient, even as a child. But yeah, I hope you guys are liking the shirts. I'm trying to step up my game, and I actually give a shit now because I can't do any reels, and I really enjoy doing my reels over on Facebook and telling everybody happy birthday and stuff. So I'm going to start doing happy birthday things to my fans in my shorts. I don't know if you guys are fans. I'm just a person that keeps it real over here. That's it. I have no ego. I'm here to help, because I mean, I only got another 50 years and I'm dying. And I see myself dying in a very good way, which I'm glad. Because I always wanted to either die with hospice, that would be nice. Or, oh, here's Flip again. I do have potential to do great things in life. Everyone does. Everyone has potential. You got to believe in yourself and do the opposite of everyone else. That is how people stand out. You are you. And don't let somebody that's making millions of dollars, that has their career going, stop you from being you. Everyone has a talent. I've only been drawing for now a year. This is really not what I've really focused on. I just take care of Alzheimer's patients, and I like to talk about things that aren't medical related with them, and it just so happens they are teaching me how to doodle. That's it. Simple as that. Nothing more. So, see, I messed up there, but I'm just gonna rub this because you can rub that. The Sharon told me, but yeah, you could do anything, and what the universe wants you to do, or what you want to do, as long as it's not malicious, you will be able to do it, and you absolutely can. I'm here to tell you. I'm living proof. I can't sing. I learned to draw within a year. So, I got this so far. I messed up in the shoulder, but I'm using that for some shading. I was told by Sharon that has all these expensive sketches out with her name, and it's called Village. They have they got a whole store and stuff. So, and her son has part of the store. They make make like $1 million. They have like $1 million in the bank. So that's why she's at my nursing home, because they have so much money. And I think she likes to take me on as her student, because it's her last dance. And honestly, what you should always think good of yourself, because your last dance is going to come one day. And when your last dance comes, make it worthwhile. Go out like a rock star. Because I'm going out like a rock star. I want a Viking funeral. I really do. I told my son he thinks it's illegal. I want to be put on a boat, and I want to be burned right there in the water. That's what I want to do. And I want my words to be heard. Nothing about money. I just want my words to be heard. My sons, and I'm giving out paintings and stuff, because when I'm dead, can't take them with me. Maybe my energy will help other people, because I do have some good energy for being a nice asshole. And really, that's what I am, folks. I am, and I will admit to it, and I'm not upset about it, because nice assholes change the world. And this is true. And I love dogs, and I do love humanity, and I would like to know before I die that I helped humanity. And I think I can help humanity by helping the people in the realm around it. I did actually execute, this is only 37 minutes. Sharon did tell me that I would be able to do this a lot quicker the more I practice. So, and I gave out a Winnie the Pooh to the wrong pregnant girl, so this is what I get, I guess. I didn't know they were this much in demand, but apparently they are. Alright, it bridges out over here, his head. I actually got a monitor, so I don't gotta keep looking one way or another. Alright. You just follow the lines. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to... I could replicate other drawings, but I'm fine with that. But we can now... But there's no questions. Okay. We'll come back. Okay, do you want to know if you have potential to do great things in life by a tarot reading? Or are you just speaking philosophically? Because I am autistic over here. I sometimes don't get it. Like I said, I live in a cave. I literally have half of my living room the way I like it for all of my little arts and crafts. I got this so far. And I'm doing just these Disney style sketches. These are just like something you would see like in a Disney store. And I'm just doing these because I've seen these in Disney stores and they seem to be really popular where people really want them. So, and my friends are great and they don't have a lot of money because we're medical people. So, I give these out for free because I like to share what I do for free and I'm not greedy. And a lot of people in this realm are greedy. And I am one of the ones in this realm that is not greedy. Not at all. I'm probably the less greediest person than anybody. And this is true facts. Alright. Right here where his eye is where what I do, like if you see facial features, do little bits at a time so you don't mess up. But since I don't have another reading, we'll start the story of Long Neck Man. It's like something that's been in my head, and I feel confident on YouTube to say it because I feel like it's more published and stuff. Facebook, I don't know. Obviously, if I'm getting hacked, it's not that. They got issues right now. But anyways, there was a village long time ago. And in the village, there was disappearances. And in these disappearances in the village, and this is a fictional story, YouTube, and the moderator and everybody involved. So, but anyways, there was a lot of disappearances, and there was once, and then there was a great fire in this village. And in the great fire, there was a flame that came from the fire. And instead of being red, it was crimson green. And they put it down, and this we're talking like, this was like, I want to say around 13 to 1100. And when they put the flame out, nothing was the same. And I mean, after that, and everything got spookier. And they was plagued by nightmares. And people still wanted to keep their houses and stuff. So, anyways, after they did all that, one by one, they moved out. Like, they would try to keep their house. People was having their houses blessed by the priest. That wasn't working. There was a man that would visit them in their dreams. And he had a long neck. And sometimes he was faceless, and sometimes he wasn't. And people were scared. And one by one, certain people would disappear, certain people wouldn't. Sometimes and when the murders went, it would go with the whole family. And then a lot of times the kids would be the only ones alive. And it was like politicians and stuff like that. This person would always take out the people that were of the most power. And people that were just doing malicious stuff. And then they ended up calling him Long Neck Man because he had a long neck, and he would just take out the people that was bad. But he took them out in a bad way. They would be maliciously murdered in the house, and he was a dark nature. That's what it is. It is what it is. So, in the dark nature, they left the child, there'd be like one child left standing, and that'd be it. So, and then these children ended up, they ended up all getting relocated. And in all the village, eventually they moved the village and they made it just a forest area. And then time went on. And they were in the builders, and then at modern times, no one listens to nothing. They just think that in modern times of ours, they decided they're going to build a city. And they was bringing up monuments and different stuff, and they started building the building up. And everything was fine for a while, and it was a military base. So, you had all these different dogs and stuff coming in, the military dogs, and everything was kosher for a while. So, and then that started happening where the dogs would get possessed. But they'd be happy. It wasn't like they were getting abused or nothing. They weren't. They would just make around, it was certain hours, of the night, where they would act more weird. And then at one point after that, there was a man that would lurk around, and they was spotted there was a man. So all these military people was looking for this man. And they couldn't find him. They actually, it was like a mystery type thing. And being military, they had all their little equipment and everything. This is what military does. And the military, and they were sitting there and they were looking for him. So, and it was a barracks, and they had their cameras. So, in their dreams, they would just have these nightmares of like a demon with a long neck that would appear in different ways. This long neck, and they just said there was this thing they kept dreaming about, but being military, they were trained to be closed-minded and yada yada yada. So no one thought nothing of it until one day in the military barracks there was an incident where, and it had nothing to do with long neck, nothing at all. It was a boy that was, it was like an undercover thing where it was like an unlawful death type thing, and they did a cover up, and at this point there was no kind of death or anything going on. And then after that happened, everything like the military does, and just in life, everything was kept hush hush. So time went on, and it was the sergeant in arms, and there was this boy that was just maliciously murdered in front of everybody to make an example because somebody was just not being nice. And that's just sometimes how life is. But he was having this sergeant in arms was having nightmares, and he would have them frequently. And he was just kind of acting kind of weird, because that's what you do when you're having lots of nightmares and stuff. And I gotta erase this whole part now. And as he was having these prolonged nightmares, things would happen. Like his wife of like 20 years, they had a happy marriage, and he kept secrets from her. And she was on the barracks. And one day, she literally decided she didn't want to be with him, and she left. And then she took the kids with her. And he couldn't figure out why. They was together for a long ass time. And he was sad. But I mean, this guy did horrible things. He would taunt people. He was just a terrible man. But after she left and his children left, he still was plagued with the nightmares. But no one really died, but Long Neck was not over. No, he was not done. He was stalking out who he wanted. So, after that, of course, misery loves company. That's one of my favorite sayings. That's absolutely true. But all of his friends that were involved in the incident they made this boy. They said that, they told the military and everything that this boy committed suicide. And it was absolutely not true. He did not commit suicide at all. So, anyways, and I'm not going to tell you how he died because we're not to the end of the story. So, anyways, after a while, there was a group of them that was having this nightmare, and they were higher ups in the military, so they were like untouchable. That was just how it was. But the one person that could touch them was Long Neck. So Long Neck, literally, got mad, and he played with them a little by little. And they had a special mission they had to go and do. And anyways, they go to do their special mission, and their artillery and everything gave out. And the guy that tortured and set up that and killed that boy, just because he had a little bit of humanity, his arm got blown off. So he ended up going to the hospital, and they kept him around because he was a long-time military person. So he had like a desk job, whatever, and did that. And the people that was involved in this boy's murder, they started having the nightmares again. And it was like a common thing where it was said but not said. And then they were seeing sightings around the barracks of a creature with long neck that would stare at you from the woods, and it had red eyes. And they said that they were under stress, so the doctors gave them all medication, which they always do. This is what doctors do. They love to give you a ton of medication. They gave him a bunch of medication, sent him to the psychiatrist, yada yada, all that. And anyways, this goes up this way. I gotta get his nose. There's somebody around my work's gonna want this too. But anyways, after they did that, they're on this medication, and then there was another military exercise going on, and they had like a lot of different kinds of them going on, these military exercises. So they had these little exercises going on and stuff, and it just came out one day where they were and time went on. I want to say it was about, I don't know, I want to say about 6 months later. And then 6 months later comes, and they find, 6 months later, they start finding things. Like unexplainable insects and bugs and stuff like that. And then people were getting parasites. So the military, brought in all their stuff and wanted to find out all their parasites. They thought they were like really cool and this and that. So they went ahead and was trying to figure out how all these parasites were coming. So they did. The parasites would just keep coming back. And then and everybody spotted them in the woods, and they couldn't go AWOL, because if you leave and don't serve your term, a lot of times you get in trouble, and you can't do certain things. And, because that's how it is. You got to serve your time. So everybody's serving their time, and there was always whispers, and disaster always followed. Then they started doing nuclear testing after a while, and there was still sightings of this man. And it was a time of war, and these guys, general guidance, if I have, me? I study. Well, I don't study. I have a bunch of residents that were famous artists that are teaching me art. I don't know if you call this studying, but I'm just there trying to change them as they're being terrorists. That's just generally how that goes. So I guess I'm studying to be a artist. I don't know how well I'm doing in the world. Sharon says I'm doing good. But yeah, I could do a general reading for you. Alright, I got this so far. Maybe she's right. The more you do this, the better you get. I got Pooh, and then I got Tigger, and I'm trying to get some of this done when I go back to work because people always want things from me when I get there. Alright. We got. What's the name? Okay, I have no clue how to pronounce your name. Alright, but I'll give you the general guidance. I know it's not Queen, it's a G. And it's a name that I don't recognize. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pronounce that. But let me do your general guidance here. Alright, you got a wax crescent moon. And for your main energy. And this just talks about having faith in your dreams. You're down. I feel that you're down with your life and you feel like your dreams are and your aspirations are gone. And you don't feel like you have, I don't know, you just feel kind of bummed out because you want to do things and things aren't going the way you would like them to go. And I've been there, my friend. I have. I'm there right now, so. And then your general guidance reading, your what's surrounding you, that energy is a full moon in Leo and a full moon in Capricorn. A full moon in Leo is just talking about pride and, you know, being able to, like, what is that? I'm trying to say it nicely. They always said, like, when know your way down when you get up type thing when I was growing up. It's like instead of having principles, you know, and I mean, I don't know, that's a bad way of saying it. I guess just maybe you just have to start over again and learn lessons from before type thing. Like learn to be humble type things and take what's given and be happy with what you have type thing. Then you have a full moon in Capricorn and it talks about the end of a tough cycle. So I guess just I would just like start from scratch, be grateful for what you have and just put it out there in the universe and it will provide to you, but you just gotta be humble and show the universe you're a good person. And the things you want will come, but they come in their time, not ours. So, oh, hi, Pal Carl. I got all your comments when I was in the asylum for 3 days. But you're going to be okay. Just learn to be humble and stuff. If you learn to be humble and take the gifts and help you have now, you always get ahead in the world. But if you're not humble and you take it in a negative way, that's when energy turns on you. You don't want none of the energy to turn on you. I always stay humble. I treat everybody equal if they have $1 million or if they got $3, if they're a superstar or if they're not a superstar. To me, it does not matter. I work. You know I'm in medical, Pal Carl. I work at the asylum, laugh out loud, the nursing home. And all these nursing homes are understaffed. I have just to go to my son's, because he's having a baby, just to be able to go there since I work weekends. I gotta put in time, and I'm probably gonna be bothered about that when I gotta go see the doctors and stuff that bother me. That's why I work weekends. But yeah, all the medical professionals are understaffed. Be nice to your medical people. Yeah, we might have a little more money because of COVID, but everything's more expensive now and we're all overworked. I only work 32 hours a week because I'm burnt out. I never got a chance to not work. I was forced to work through COVID. And then I got COVID and I have no symptoms when I have COVID. So I decided to work in COVID bubbles for a long while. They called me Bubble Girl, and I was happy. I made over $30 an hour being Bubble Girl during COVID. I got ahead in a lot of stuff during COVID. While everybody was enjoying not working, I didn't. I did not enjoy. I didn't get any of that love. I got COVID tested every damn day. Walked in the door. Sometimes had we had like military every once in a while to stop by when everything shut down. I don't want to ever live through a shutdown again, ever again in my life, and I don't want to be the only one standing. I remember when we were through COVID, everywhere because I'm Irish and I like my corned beef and shit. They ran out of corned beef. Me and my brother went all around town and I found some corned beef, but it was not the corned beef I wanted. I was one of the few people that had a lot of money, and I went to the store guy, and he went and brought me all this corned beef he had that he shaved off, and gave it to me real cheap. But yeah, this is what I do. I be going to work all the time on the weekend because I've been there going on 11 years. That's why I'm over here, Carl, trying to get all these done. All my friends, they support my channel and they supported me when I was on Facebook, actually. See, I'm just taking the pencil and rubbing the pencil in. This is a technique that professionals apparently do here. So that's what I'm doing. That's how they can execute all these really good paintings that no one wants to tell you these secrets over here. I love how some of these artists are so secretive about everything. Thank God I take care of the artists myself, or I wouldn't know about their little secrets. But yeah, I was at work. My work would like me to be there right now too, if I didn't let them. If I there, your Insta PLS. I don't know what that means. Oh, I can't get an Instagram either. And my Instagram was hacked. So, I don't know what's going on with all that. My Google security was alerted, and next thing I know, all hell broke loose. I've been trying to get to my groups. I have 6 groups over on Facebook. Literally. And I've been trying to work on getting over there again, but I don't know. Maybe the universe wants me to be over here more. Maybe that's the issue. I don't know. But I am doing pretty decent on Flip. I got 4 followers. I am enjoying Flip. I don't know if I want to buy anything over there because they already started trying to hack me over there. I trust Amazon. As you guys all know, Amazon's my best friend. Through COVID, I was spending $400 a month in Amazon stuff. It was crazy. And then when I decided I want to save a little money, I just kept getting boxes from work because I was trying to organize everything I bought from Amazon through COVID. We had enough supplies for like 4 or 5 months without the stuff I bought. And I have bought like stuff like toilet paper and things like that. I was one of these people that was hoarding shit. I really was. And I learned to make biscuits because one of the older nurses, and I was like, well, if this is the end of the world, I'm better, and bread is going to be an issue. I better learn how to make it. So I bought a bread maker and just started making my own damn bread too. And honestly, I mean, in hindsight, now that it's all over, it is a money saver. The more things you can make on your own, the more money you do save. I do not buy anybody presents. I told him, I even told my son, I'm still trying to save up because I gotta get a house next year and I got things to do. I said my grandbaby's getting artwork. That's it. My son makes he's like me. We actually make around the same amount of money. He makes a decent living and stuff. I told him that it's your turn. I go, my grandbaby's getting artwork and sentimental stuff. And he said that he's fine with it. With him and his baby shower that cost $6,000. Who the hell has a baby shower that's $6,000 except for Brandon? And pictures. I've never seen a baby shower that had pictures too. I don't know. I'm not looking that forward to going to it. Truth be told, there's going to be a lot of pretentious people that bother the hell out of me. And they're going to probably mention my YouTube channel and this and that and bother me further because this is what people do sometimes. And I can't stand those kind of people, but I know I got to keep my reservations. I guess it is my grandkids, so it is what it is there. So I'm going with it. And then he wants to, my mother, she passed away, like y'all know, I still talk to her. And he wants my mom's hook blanket that she made. And my dad kind of went crazy at the time and sold all of her jewelry. And I don't have a lot of stuff from my mother, except for a couple things. And this is not bad. It's I don't know, somebody, I have a lot of friends with kids. Someone will like it. I can see why Disney uses all this stuff. I can see why this works for Disney. If you guys want to do a professional, any of you sketchers out there want to do professional sketch drawings, take the chalk. Do master pastel, but not soft. And I did get a pastel set in this that I got on donation, but they're not good as these. They're not. And I like these basic soft pastels I got. And for some reason, I got these from Amazon, of course, laugh out loud. Wow. And I don't know if any of you guys take supplements, but I've been taking this mushroom complex because my one friend from work, she's a pothead like me. You know, got her medical card and all that. Her son's like a big wig over there on Amazon. Big wig. He's like, they have probably $250,000. And he's just a workaholic, so. This is, and she introduced me to the free thing. She's one of my biggest supporters. She buys me all the stuff from Amazon. But yeah, like this on Amazon, my soft pastels usually are like $50 because those are real good for sketching too. But if you want to just do a layout or fading out in a background, get your non-soft pastels. And I think that one, this one with this kit only cost me like $20, and I got a Prime membership. Go ahead and just get your whole Prime membership or you're going to be paying a lot of money for it. And Amazon has their hands in everything, trust me. So you're going to have a good deal. And then when you do this, to get it like portrait-like, you go around in circles. I've been told that by all the famous artists at my work that has passed. You go in circles. I'm just adding to the background a little. You want some bright, shiny colors for kids. And you want something that's going to bring out your sketch, because I'm not going to color in the characters, because everybody seems to like these that has kids. And Disney used to have these, because I've been to Disney like 5-6 times in my first marriage. So they have these, and they'll charge like $500 for just one thing like this. It's insane the money they want with this. They're crazy. And this is what they expect people to pay. I'm not paying it. I won't. I would rather figure out how to do it on my own damn self and save the damn money. That's how I am. It's more important to save a dog. It really is. Or feed somebody. You know, sometimes things like that's not that important. This is a stress reliever, because I do have a very stressful life being in medical. And really, to me, that is my biggest job, is medical. I was meant here to help the sick and see them in their hardest time when they're dying and give them comfort. That is what I was meant to put on this earth to do. And that's my number one mission, is medical. But I do like being over here, but that's why I like to give advice and stuff, because this is kind of what I do at work. We all help each other. And it's funny, because the one psychiatrist, Dr. Benny, she always comes by, because she comes every day talking to them about their mental health. And I always tell her, I got mental problems. And she says, I don't have enough training for you guys. Dr. Benny always says that about me, about all of us. She's like, you guys, I would need extra help you guys. See, all where I made my mistakes, I just redid the background, and you really can't tell that much. If you make a mistake, you're just going to have to repastel it down. And these are worth their weight in gold. I've had these 6 months. One-time purchase, keep them all together in here, together, and there you go. Alright, hang on. Manta, I'll check on afterwards. I have taken the screenshot. I would like that too one day. I smoke them every day. And I've been taking this mushroom complex, Carl. You can buy it on Amazon. And there's this rise stuff. It's just like everybody says it's nasty, but if you ever done shrooms or anything, you know how it's kind of nasty anyways. It's ground up, and you put it in your hot drinks. And there we go. Poo and ticker. And I've been putting it in my hot drinks and stuff. And when I do that, my one friend, I call her the damn sheriff. She bought it for me, because Tommy, he's one of their big wigs, so she got it for me, and 1 teaspoon was 2,000 milligrams. Wendy and Tiger. No, Pooh and Tiger. Silly. That's Winnie the Pooh. But yeah, she was, and then I decided I was really tired, right? So I took 8,000 milligrams of this stuff. I go to the nurse, one of my other nurse friends, and she goes to me, you're going to get high. And I go, what do you mean I'm going to get high? They sell it at Amazon. It's a mushroom thing. And she looked at it, it's all made from mushrooms. All of it. She goes, just because you buy it from Amazon doesn't mean you can't get high on it. And I was like, well, hell, I didn't want that at work. But I sure felt good. I drink it some now that they have a bunch of it, where if you don't want it, the rise, and you don't want it in the other, you can have it in the drops, and I just put it with like a sugary drink, and it really lifts your mood up. It makes you really happy. Because being happy is where you want to be, but I was a little bit too happy yesterday on like 3 hours sleep. And it did give me a lot of energy, but I guess I shouldn't have took 8,000 milligrams. But I do suggest it, but watch your milligrams with that stuff, because my one friend Eden told me that she just said she was warning me about those drinks and all that. But of course, the sheriff, that I call my friend the sheriff, she would find these drinks, because her ass been sick like me, and we've been there for a long time, and everybody loves us. And I told him, blame the sheriff. I didn't even buy it this time. And she was laughing. She goes, I don't know nothing, Michelle. She was like, you and Carol do what you and Carol do. I'm just telling you, you're going to be high. But I was very nice. I was unusually nice, even to the people I didn't like. I think they enjoyed me being on this mushroom complex. And I had no clue it could have those kind of effects. But apparently it can. So if you guys are on there and you see these supplements, just be careful. They are totally legal. Microdosing is actually legal in England and different places in the world. But it's a little pricey. But you know what? I literally, I work in I like to call it the asylum. That's what we all call it. We all call it the asylum. I always take my shakings and put it right back on the paper. Disney style is when you're doing Disney sketches, you do this Disney style, like Walt Disney would do. And you won't go wrong. And actually, if you wanted to do clouds, like where I have here, is the start of clouds. That you could do too. Because I was trying to figure out clouds. And I do everything in circles, portrait-like. And it will click in eventually where it gets better and better. It's only been a year and I'm getting this far, so. But yeah, I thought you guys find that hilarious. I didn't even mean to be high, but somehow I was at work from something from Amazon. And everyone's on these supplements at work. It's just not me. They got mushroom pills. They got here. Huh? Well, yeah. You're my friend. I know that you care about dogs. You wouldn't be over here watching all my videos if you didn't like dogs. Most of my videos have my dog in it because he's the reason I'm here. I'm tired of these dogs being abused. Stupid people just smacking them around, acting crazy. And then just because I have a prong collar, everybody wants to chastise me because I have a prong collar. My dog is half German Shepherd. This is how you train dogs. And prong collars are not bad if they're used correctly. When idiots start using them and they don't use them correctly, this is where the problem herein lies. Don't have the prongs going straight in their damn neck. Mine are side prongs. I had a comment about that the one day. I was so pissed off. I did a whole stream about it. And I did a stream on TikTok talking about collars and stuff. But my dog's, it doesn't bother him. He's muscular as hell. He's 180 pounds. You gotta, when you have dogs, you gotta make sure they're gonna be good dogs. This is why all these dogs are going around and they can't adopt them out and stuff again. Because, there's a lot of people saying, oh, I'd love to go and get a dog from the dog shelter, but I don't know what I'm getting. I don't know if the dog was abused. I don't know what kind of training the dog had. That's why I'm trying to get a dog shelter. And in my dog shelter, they're all going to be trained. retrained if they were able to be retrained. And that's it. They're going to be trained the proper way. And if I can make enough money over here, and I don't know what's in TikTok, I am gaining popularity over there. If I can get money from here in TikTok, I'm going to train them all properly. And if you have to put some dogs down because they're in pain or it's just would be unbearable, then so be it. But I want to save all the dogs I can save, and saving them means giving them an actual chance to be a real dog, not just all up in these different, just like all their little dog wheelchairs, I like to call them. So, I'm married. But I appreciate you liking me. But I am married. I've been with my current husband for going on 11 years. So, and I'm probably way too old for you. I'm just living my best life in my 50s over here. I'll be 51 this month. So, and I guess now I have a crazy ass daughter-in-law that all of a sudden decided that she's gonna be nice to me. And I guess I gotta be nice to her because she's pregnant. And I do love my son, so I guess that's where I'm at in the world. I guess I'm gonna let bygones be bygones. I don't think she'll be arguing with me no more. I'll tell you that much. I think she's lightweight afraid of me. I have told her off before, so this is what I like to do. I like to put everyone in their damn place. If they want to bother me and go out of their way to bother me when I stay in my cave and work at the asylum on the weekend, you might not like the effect that you get. That's how I'm looking at it. And she found out. I'm trying to think of that thing that everyone says at my work. It's fuck around and find out. That's what they always say at my work, and I find them funny as hell. These people that say that, and these are the people I get along with. These are absolutely the people I go. These are my people, and a couple people from my work was like, "Oh well, thank you." All these people be looking at me. They're like, "How do you get along with this person?" And I tell them, "I'm a nice asshole. That's why." Nice assholes get along with each other. They don't say nothing. They don't be trying to snitch on me or nothing. And even if they did, the DON already knows how I am. If there's something or somebody did something crazy to piss me off, I don't lie to Connie. Not at all. I just tell Connie, well, you told me to behave and then they did this. What do you want me to do? They never get in trouble. I mean, they try to get me in trouble, but I tell Connie, and then Connie tells me to try to behave, and I move about my business. And then I just smile at them, and then they get pissed off, and then they end up leaving. It is what it is. You act stupid, I'm gonna. You say stupid shit, I'm gonna say something stupid right back. I've always been that way. But our DON, I don't think I could leave my DON because she even told me the one day she would, like, when she didn't like somebody, she would send them to work with me and Carol all the time, because if you don't do your work and you want to be a total a-hole, we're going to tell you off, and that's it. And she's a little older than me. She's like 54. And I told Connie, I'm getting old, and I just don't give a damn. I'm not dealing with everybody's problems and their issues in the world and their laziness. I told her that And then she'll be like, "Oh, but you gotta be a little nice sometimes." I was like, "Well, tell them to get off their damn phone and do their job and leave me alone." And then she'd be like, "Michelle." But this is the climate of the asylum. The kind of they act like these workers act like they're getting me and Carol in trouble, but it never happens. Nothing ever happens. Nobody cares. Because that's the way these jobs are. People like who they like. But the time has come where I just need to be there less. I used to do a lot of hours there. I don't no more. Not at all. I'm just to the point where I just need to do something else. I started doing this because my younger son pissed me off and he got involved with this girl and he ghosted me for a little bit and I was trying to stalk my younger son, find out what the hell he was doing. So that's why I went on Facebook, folks. It had nothing to do with being popular or wanting to be a superstar. I just wanted I just wanted to torture I just want to torture my youngest. Pretty much. And I did. And then to my surprise, it was China. China loves Chong because China started. Shout out to China. But yeah, they literally I got my first couple hundred subscriptions from China because I did dog walks. And then I was like, well, if all these people can subscribe because they love Chong in China, maybe while I'm trying to get my youngest's attention, I'll go ahead and do something else. So I started doing little things little by little. And I think I do have a lot of China. But now it's a lot of India. I think I have some China. I don't know. Lately I haven't had anybody from China. So I don't know what happened with that. But I'm not, it is what it is. I'm starting with his feet. Because I'm not, now that I made my one friend Winnie the Pooh, now everybody wants a Winnie the Pooh at my work. They're very excited about it. So I'm making it for someone else that has a kid. But yeah, now I'm just vibing with it. Now my kids are be like, "How much do you live stream, Mom?" I was like, "Well, when I was stalking you guys, I was doing it every day, so I might as well keep going." Now my youngest thinks it's funny as hell. He does. He's like, "I'm proud of you." I was like, "Yeah, trying to get hold of you, and then with your brother, because my oldest, he's married, so he was involved with his wife, and his wife was acting funny towards me, and I done told his wife off, and we got into it, and then he was going through some things with his wife, so I would just air stuff just so that I wanted to tell them since they didn't want to call me on the phone. I would just mention their life and there, and sometimes my older son Brandon would come in the live stream over when I was on Facebook because a lot of them are on Facebook. A lot of them are. I can't say I miss Facebook. They always said they're going to pay me. And I would get supposed to get this payout. Because I had a bunch of people was liking my videos and stuff, but with all this controversy with them, they would say they're going to pay me, wouldn't pay me. They don't know me. And that's just the thing. And I don't know. I just gave up on them. I just gave up. But I think I might go there just for just PR or something and try to fix whatever is going on with whatever bug is going on with my thing. And then my one friend, she's as a rock band. She told me she's hoping I get back on there, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be doing live streaming and stuff over there no more. I go, Brandon already done calls me on the phone and stuff, and I don't get paid like I'm supposed to be. But they got a lot of issues. There's this stupid thing going around before I got hacked. I think it had to been a scammer. He says he's the prince of, I forgot what Middle Eastern country it is. And they send stuff like they're vibing with you and they want to be with you, and he's looking for a wife. It's creepy. I will say that much. It is very creepy. I find it creepy. But I'm sure it's just because it's a scammer. But yeah. I'm having a lot of more peaceful times and I could come over here more because I would have to do more, and then it's like why am I over here? It's like I'm never potentially getting paid because every time they say they're going to pay me, they never do. So whatever's going on with Facebook, I don't know. Everybody's flocking to Flip and TikTok in here. And really not here for live streaming at all. Out of all my friends that are doing like little stuff, none of them's really doing a lot of stuff. It's all their content, and they're doing a lot on TikTok. But TikTok is changing hands again. I do love my TikTok though. I'm on there, Chong the dog on TikTok. If you guys want to get a hold of me, TikTok is a good place for it. Because you're allowed to download a video. Like when you are done at the live center, and I bring them over here. But if you guys, I do respond to things on TikTok. Because I do have my nieces are over there on TikTok, and they think it's cool as hell that I go over there and stream. And they tell me about, oh, my auntie's over there on TikTok and all that, and they get excited, come in the stream and say hi. And they love seeing people sketch. Love it. It's TikTok. But I don't hate TikTok. I just think that they're fun. They can sometimes be a rowdy group of people. Sometimes. But you know what? I'm a little rowdy at times too, so why not? To me, it's not a big deal to me. Alright, this, you gotta measure it out here. Some of all these little measurements will drive you nuts with these kind of Disney paintings. They really will. Alright. I'm gonna bring this up more this way. This is where the shirt starts. That way. It's getting there. I guess maybe my friend Sharon was right. Maybe this is why she was a famous artist with her own damn shop and all her money. She told me I want to be something. Maybe this is her last hurrah since her son's already a famous artist and I take good care of her. Maybe this is how she's trying to help me. I don't know. That's how it is sometimes when you're older. Maybe this is her way of paying it back. And I do appreciate all of her training. She's one hell of a teacher, I'll tell you that. I go in there and I have this great looking painting. Next thing I know, she goes, well, you could have did this and that. I'm like, okay. But she goes, but it's not horrible, but you could do better. And then conversation gets diverted. But this is life, I guess. I don't know if this poster board is going to hold up or if it's long enough or I should have his feet down. Maybe I could just I think I have his ears, or I could slant his head this way. Maybe I'll just do the opposite. This will look I'll just do this opposite so I can get most of his face in here. And try to do a Hail Mary on this painting because there we go. Here, I'm just going to do a Hail Mary with this. Because he could be cocking his head this way. It's not a big deal. I'm looking at it at a different angle any damn way than the TV. Which I'm very glad I fixed this. I found all these monitors because this is what I do with my life. Besides try to be plumbing and a plumber and everything else. Because I don't believe in paying them their asses unless it's really important either. Alright. Alright, I'm going to make this smaller. And I think I'm going to bring this down a little. Be able to fit his head, and I got to bring the shoulder down. That's the problem. Yeah, the shoulder got to come down. I'm bringing that shit down. There we go. And then this could be here. And then the shirt comes. Bring this over here. So you gotta show. If you're doing this kind of work, you gotta show dimension. So I'm gonna show dimension over here. A lot of like squiggly lines and stuff show dimension. It sounds insanely stupid, but it really works. And if you make a mistake and you feel like done a couple times and could still just smudge it that area. It's not even a big deal. Smudging things out is a professional thing. So we're just doing, I'm going to smudge these out because I got to fix where that's at. Okay, what did you do? Were you ever blonde? I have blonde highlights in my hair. Natural. I've always had natural highlights in my hair. And I looked like Shirley Temple when I was a little girl. Honestly. And then I went from there to strawberry blonde, and then it got darker as I got older. That's what happened to my hair. Yeah, me and my son were arguing over my mom's rug. He wanted the rug because my mom's passed and wanted that damn rug to put in the baby's room. And I told her I watched my mother make that damn rug. And I told him that when I die, he'll get the rug. And he goes, okay, okay. So then my husband goes, you can knit, why don't you just make him a rug? So I met another one of my residents, and she studies patterns for crocheting. And I crochet. I'm not the best crocheter, but I know how. So I decided my husband said I should just make him a rug then. Because we were arguing over this rug. And I'm telling you, I hope all these people don't bother me at this baby shower with all these damn pictures and stuff. They act like it's like this big photo shoot going on. They drive me nuts. Alright, you go like that. You do a little wavy line, kind of like Amazon, and then you put the eyeball up. But yeah, all I've been doing today is sleeping, Carl, and then I thought about all my friends that have seen all these other things I made and decided I should make this for this person's baby and this and that. So I clean like I always do up in my little cave over here. And then sometimes I hang out with my brother because I don't drive. My brother and me carpool to work, and that's one reason I stay at that work so long, because my brother's never leaving that work. He works in the kitchen at the nursing home. We're all in the asylum together. And this is why I stay. I got my bestie and I got my brother. And they told me even if I leave there, that I'm never getting rid of them. So I guess it is what it is with that. So I've accepted that that's how life is and it's going to be, and that's all there is to it. I actually executing saving his head. I thought that was going to be a bad thing. And he got another angle. And then come down this way. And plus, I got to start some sketches for the baby too, for the baby's room. Because his luck, it'll probably be a little boy. Just like him, boys seem to run it a lot in our family. Girls are not as prevalent as boys in our family. I don't know why. I mean, it'd be nice to have a granddaughter, but I guess it's okay for a little girl, a little boy be all right. We've got a lot of boys in our family. I got so many nephews, it's ridiculous. This is why I know so much about men. What is it? My nephews are, God, they're in their 20s now, and I know them since they were as kids. They actually go on when I do my streams over at TikTok, and they do streaming on Twitch. They like doing that too. They're all gamers. They enjoy being gamers. These guys. They could be grungy though. My nephews. My niece, she's a doctor. She's doing real good, real good. And her mom didn't have a lot of money. She she just got real good grades and just kept getting scholarships. And I used to always like braid their hair and stuff. My two nieces, and I used to tell her she could do whatever she wants to do, and she's made it happen in her life. She's like 25 something now, and she's on her way to. She's a resident doctor now, so she's doing real good. I'm very proud of her. And then my other one that they said, my other niece that everybody would say she wasn't that smart and this and that. She's going to be a nurse. They always tell me, why don't you be a nurse? I said I wouldn't survive the day. I said I'd get through all the classes, but something would happen and I'd be fighting with somebody by the end of the day. I said I just need somewhere where I could just say what I want to say without having to worry about all the stupid crap and the family members. The family members can be the worst. They really can. Some family members I'm cool with and I make them paintings for the residents, but some of them are ridiculous. They will be short and they'll sit there and say, well, my mom has to use the bathroom as we're passing food. And it's like, wow. And then I'll tell them we're passing food and they're like, I don't care. My mom needs to be changed. It's like, okay. You don't want your mom to have lunch? I mean, that's what it comes down to. And this is how these family members come at you. I don't know. It's because they feel guilty because they weren't nice to mom or dad when they were living. But I would hope my kids didn't do that. I would hope. Because that's just a shitty way to be. You should care about everybody having their meal. You really should. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. I'm just shading this to try to make this better here. I don't know if I'm in love with this one that much, but I get around his belly here, some shading. But getting back to Long Neck Man, since I want to do these segments too. Long Neck Man, you got the guys that on the military base, and I think I'm not sure if you were here, Carl, for the start of the story because I am a horror writer. When the after they executed and was nasty and lied about how they tortured the one guy from the military, and that one exercise they did, he became crippled. It became more and more potent. There was sinisterness around, surrounding the surrounding woods. But it just came to the fact where they needed more land. And the earth would a lot of times warn them of an ancient demon that was close by. And that was why you don't mess with certain energy. But of course, sometimes people don't listen. So they continued expanding the military base. And then we did expand it. They made it so all the military families and stuff could come over, and they built wonderful houses on it. And it came down to where, you get a lot of people gathered. And where you get a lot of people gathered in in any situation, you're going to have your bad and your good. There was bad people that was gathered. And then one day there was a father, and he was very abusive to his wife and his child. And one day, and no one ever said nothing because he was a big time sergeant and stuff, but the family went through hell. But anyways, it just came down to one day they were being abused, and a mysterious man walked up in the house. And as he walked in, the father went ahead, got his gun out to go shoot this mysterious person. And he had a sinister smile, and nothing happened. So he just kept shooting. And as he's shooting, he was screaming and all that, and none of their electricity or anything worked. But there was light all the same. And he got scared. He told the kids to go this way, and they was running away from him to go to their mom, because this is what happens in abusive situations. So as they did that, it was you just seen the strange man get closer to the dad. And as that happened, he got thrown up against the wall. Man never touched him, and they had cameras in the house. And as the man touched it, he just literally was shown where he was flown across the room. And as he was flown across the room, blood started gushing from his body. And the kids were crying and screaming. And his body laid there, lifeless, and in front of the cameras and everything, because they would have to be an investigation who murdered who, because that's how it is in any situation nowadays. Well, this isn't terrible. We got food. And as that, and he literally just lied there dead, and they saved all the tapes, and the military just didn't know what to think of it. They didn't charge anybody for this man's murder. Nobody was charged for his murder. They couldn't prove nothing. It was right from the cameras. And then there was, one by one, there was another family where there was a problem where somebody was trying to abuse somebody, and they would just get strung up and they would die. in unnatural ways, where like where their neck would be severed and all kinds of stuff. So eventually they just got it investigated, and and it was like a forgotten place because every time their radar wouldn't work. That too. Radar didn't work, nothing. So one day they literally just closed it down and left all the weapons and all that, and it was like they couldn't have people living there. And it came to where it looked like a mass suicide, and the kids lived, and so the one kid thought of the long neck man as his savior. He ended up going to the woods, and there was an old cottage, and he just wanted to be left alone. And the long neck man liked him. And he's just one of these loners that wanted to kind of live in the woods by himself. And when that little boy just left, and they did look for him, but he willingly went with him. There was like a forgotten house in the woods. I'm gonna do another one for somebody else at work. I guess this does get quicker the more you do this. They weren't lying. So he started living at the house, and he just stayed there to serve as a reminder for people to leave his friend alone, the long neck man, and he was provided for in this time. Things would come to him because they were companions in life, this boy, and civilization came back again, and he just became the boy in the woods because his whole family ended up getting killed by the long neck man. But he understood that he seen him as a savior. He never seen him as anything bad. He only seen the long neck man as the man that saved him from being abused. So Mr. Longneck and him just vibed for years. And then there are other people tried to come. Once again, modern civilization came, and they tried to repopulate again the area. And he came out of the woods with his little thing, with his stuff and all that, and his satchel and all that, and said that this land is not to be settled, and no one listened to him. So people started building stuff again on there. And they used a lot of the same structures that the military already set up. I'm making Eeyore now. And after they did that, there become more rash murders. Again. And the little boy would come in, and then they tried to blame the murders on him. Because people were coming up dead in their bed in just really weird ways, and they thought it was him. And it was just all there was to it, but for what everybody didn't understand was the long neck man. When is... Oh, okay. I thought there was another question. But he had to go kind of in secret. So the long neck man always made sure he had supplies. If he needed food, he provided animals and supplies to the boy, and he was fine with that. He was like in his 50s. I want to say like 60 something the next time civilization came, and he just never married. He just never really wanted to deal with it. He was traumatized, and he just trusted the long neck man, and he seen the demon as a father. To him, that was dad. So he was there to protect his dad. And it ended up that while he was trying to save some people in the village from being mean to their dad and just treat people with humanity, they started blaming him for some of these deaths because he had the space, he didn't own the land, But the long neck man made sure that nobody touched this boy or the space that was their home. So, as time went on and there was a rash of lightning, they went to try to burn his cottage up. The long neck man wasn't having that for him and his son. Was not going to do it. So, it just so happened the long neck man went into the village, his spirit, and as they were burning the cottage, he went ahead and he started burning all the houses. He let all the pets out and stuff like that, because all animals were safe in that neck of the woods. They were, because the long neck man he loved animals, just hated people. So he went ahead and made sure that, like, when they went to go burn his cottage, he went to every single house of the expensive gated community and murdered every single person there, innocent or not. And then they ended up burning in his cottage. But the long neck man had plans for his son. They were still alive, because there was all those old army barracks, and they built on the bottom, like they built under and up. So as they were trying to burn that, the long neck man showed the little boy where to go, and he went in the under barracks. And there was a lot of like stuff where the long neck man would put like food and stuff out for him and stuff. So he went down there and took some of the dogs and stuff that the long neck man saved, because he always gave him animals and stuff. And they were waiting patiently back for the long neck man, and when he finally did return, and they came up, and he made sure the status quo, that him and his animals had food, and they had that, and they had satchels of money and all kinds of stuff. So and then they looked upon the village, and he was like, "What happened?" He said, "What happened, Father?" He called him Father. He's like, "Well, sometimes people go bad, and this is how you have to do it to start over again." And then as he was going and burning all their houses and stuff, he like literally took money and little things that would help him out with, relocating him. Because long neck man wasn't worried about him. He was more worried about his son and the animals. And they ended up having like 100, a bunch of cats and a bunch of dogs. So they went ahead and they took all that money, and they went to another secluded place and bought everything cash and relocated, and they ended up going underground just because that was home to them. And that's the end of the story. And it just went down to history as the unknown disaster. No one really said. It was always just a mystery. But the boy was said to have taken money and investing it, and he eventually ended up living a good life. And apparently, the little boy ended up looking a lot younger eventually also, because the long neck man had more up his sleeve for surprises. Because he went to looking like a 60-year-old man to looking like a 30-year-old man, and he ended up getting married and having kids. And the long neck man always stayed in his house, always. If he had any problems with his clients or anything, they just died mysteriously, and they lived happily ever after. And that's the story of the long neck man. Sometimes your monsters are created because of the ills that we do to them. So that's why I say we should be humane to people. And it's a fictional story, yes. But if you look at most of your serial killers through history, one reason they turned so nasty was because they were subjected to so much abuse. Like Charles Manson. His mom was a prostitute. She wasn't really equipped to take care of a child. I read his biography. I sure did, because he's one of the most colorful killers in history. That's just all there is to it. He is what he is, but yeah. And he did write his little book, and he had his money and stuff. And the thing is there's a lot of people that do bad stuff because that's what they're taught to do. And I do understand we need like jails, but we need to try to be more humane about how we do things. Because people are going to just continue getting abused and hurt the more we deal with the violent end. And it's opposite. It's absolutely true. Absolutely. Because this is what happens when you suppress somebody so long. And it's terrible. Nobody should have to live that way. But we do this in society, and the thing is, the energy returns. And we're taught that it's okay to be mean. We're taught it's okay to be disrespectful. And this is what we have going on in the world. And it's just very sad. I mean, I see the correlation. I'm going to be myself no matter what. Things like that aren't going to bother me. And that's just true facts. Well, I got 2 Winnies there, and I did that Tigger yesterday. I think I'll be good for the Winnie the Pooh bunch. I'm a nobody, Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things. Oh my god, do I love Stranger Things. That is, I've seen that. I can watch that over and over again. Love it. But then again, I'm a horror writer, so I would like something like that. But I do see things like walking around sometimes, nasty things in the world. I don't get scared of them. But I think that when you're nasty enough to people, they find you. I do, and that's why I think that's why, every religion has a thing about karma. It serves as a warning, even in the Catholic religion, where my mom, Roman Catholics even say it. And they're against everything. They say there's really nothing out there like that. And there is energy out there, and there is things out there. And I've heard from a lot of spiritualists, if you don't believe in it, it's fine, but they believe in you. And maybe when we always are, and it's one thing, you could be a little dark, that's fine. As long as it's protective wise and it's not malicious. I think once it turns malicious and you enjoy hurting people, that's when you could be subject to these things. And honestly, when people are going through it in the transformation, which it doesn't help when we're out there abusing people. And I'm not saying, I get it that it happens, you get angry, but that cycle of abuse creates more monsters than anything. It really does. And it's terrible. I just feel like we should stay loyal and protect our children and not be so malicious, because being malicious really gets you nowhere. Because eventually that energy comes by, and there's been a lot of legends like that has in the past. And there's a lot of unexplained things in the world, and that's on a for real note. And how do you know this is not just the universe paying us back for being malicious? You could take a dog, torture him, and all that, and think you got away with it, and then something really bad happens to you. Like, let's say you get in a car accident, and where most people wouldn't maybe get hurt or whatever, and your ass gets really hurt in a wheelchair and this and that. But then the same person that got in the same accident that's not malicious, that person was okay. I mean, I used to hear, my mom used to say dark witches die young. And they die usually from something of their own hands, like some kind of energy that literally takes them. And she always said that. And it's always like the energy just wants to come and be with you. And that saying, birds of a feather flock together, maybe it's said that way, like, because darker energies don't like being around positive people. Not at all. They don't like it. They don't want to deal with it. I mean, so the darker energies say, oh, well, you're kind of cool to hang out with. You already kind of think like me. Why not? I could vibe with you. And then, how do we know that's not how half of these hauntings happen? I'm just saying. This could be a possibility in the world, but no one really is saying it, but I am. I say just be a good person. Be a good person and let it ride out. Well, I mean, mainly when you do that kind of thing, it's not, you don't really have that bad of an outcome. I've been around negative people a lot, but I try to remain positive, even in bad circumstances. And let's say it was terrible and I probably should be pissed off. I just get to the point where it's just, to me, not worth it. And it's not. And I've taught my kids that it's just not worth it to be angry for stuff that's really doesn't matter, I guess you could say. Because to me, certain things that really, at some point, it just doesn't matter. You just gotta let it go. But some people don't let things go. And if you don't let things go, sometimes the bad happens. And you really don't want this bad finding you. It's not good. I don't like the bad happening, because when the bad finds you, and it's always, it just gives you back something happens. And it's usually you end up sick. Or you end up in a wheelchair, or you end up in a terrible accident, or you end up penniless. I took care of a resident like that. He was super rich, but the most malicious man I've ever seen in my life. He really was. His energy that came off him was crazy. And this man, he would always be extra nasty, and I swear when he died, the whole damn room went cold. And of course his ass waited for me to die. And I've told him he used to cuss at us in the hallway, and then the family would try to say that we were mean to him. But he would sit there and just be screaming profanities, and there'd be other residents complaining about their dad. But he was just one of these people that no one liked. And he was a very prestige businessman, but he just wasn't nice. And he ended up dying mysteriously, of course. Of course, he had to wait for me. Just he went white, and he was and when he died, I mean, his skin was like a table. There you go. Who? Oh, well, tell them to put their thing in. Their question in again. But yeah, that was like the creepiest death I've been involved in. I did bless him though. I did put some holy water and I blessed him. But his ass waited for me. It was crazy. I couldn't take it. We used to call him Littlefoot because he had one foot that was smaller than another, and because it was half chopped off. And nobody wanted that assignment. I had him every day. Every day I had his crazy ass. And every day he had something nasty to say to you. It was horrible. He was the most horrible person I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot of people. I've taken care of a lot of people. And I want to say he was the damn worst. I mean, sometimes he'd be nice to me. But he was horrible. But I took care of him, did what I did, and he would cuss me out, and I'd tell him, have a good day, and I would shut the door, and we'd be done. I just kept it moving. That's what I do. I just keep it moving. It's amazing how you guys could see the other questions. I can't barely see anything over here. They're so damn sophisticated on these streams around over here. I don't think they can see each other's questions on TikTok. I really don't. A lot of people going on it though. They get excited over there. They'd be thirsty for me to come on over there. It's not bad. So far. Maybe this is vibing with me. Maybe I'm just getting better at sideways. I think that's what's happening. I'm just getting way better with sideways. Thank God. Because I was having lots of problems with sideways. Every time it was dimensions that was killing me with all this. It was terrible. I would always be struggling with dimensions. Maybe that I just needed to perfect dimensions. Alright. I'm going to try to get this. Eeyore is something to try to draw. There's so much detail in Eeyore. I think there's more detail in Eeyore than there's the other ones. There's a lot of little lines everywhere. Alright, this one's coming up here. And this one's coming down here. I can see why Disney makes so much damn money now. You really got to practice this stuff and track people down that know what the hell they're doing to be able to draw. To draw you some Walt Disney. Walt Disney is a very hard draw. It sure is. I guess it's good I take care of people that are on their way to knocking on heaven's door. People will get very humble before they die. I probably mind her of her son, honestly. She does like to give back. Right, there's one line here with him. Alright, got that. Yeah, these little stitches here. Get that. Now I'm gonna do this little wrinkle here. So I gotta pull this out from back here because I got another dimensional thing. So you gotta show dimension now. You gotta go back over this way. You gotta over and back this. And you can look, I just look on Google to practice my dimension with my characters. That's all I do. Just look on Google. And just start doing all the lines and all these little lines that look like makes no damn sense. It's for dimensions and make it look more realistic. That's really what it's for. I thought it was just a bunch of horse manure, but it's not. See, that maybe this is why I was given Sharon. Because I'd probably be a horrible student. Maybe I was meant to be her student. Give her a reason to live. Maybe this is what she's living for now. I don't know. Alright. Alright, now I gotta get this back foot here. And then up this way. But I hope you guys liked my little story. I was thinking about once I get Little in the Darkness out, maybe after I get Little in the Darkness out, start short stories because all George Romero is dead. Stephen King's already doing short stories. I feel there needs to be more book writers in the world. I really do. I feel that maybe there needs to be a rash of people that's doing more original stuff. I mean, yeah, there's writers, but they're just redoing everything that everyone's already done. That's what they're doing, and that's it. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you got to keep redoing things that everyone's already done, are you really a true writer if you can't think of anything original here? I mean, I might be picking up drawing, but am I an artist like Picasso? No. Will I be? Probably not. Will I be able to make nice presents for my friends? Absolutely. Will I get famous for drawing? No. And I'm fine with it. Because sometimes you just need stuff to unwind with and to get your troubles out. And drawing is a very good outlet. That's why I'm on here showing you guys. Because I deal with stress at work every day. I'm down to 32 days a week because of stress. And our friend just had a stroke because him and his wife were fighting because of stress. And he's going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life because his wife wanted a divorce. They've been married like 30 damn years. They couldn't decide if they wanted to be with each other in all that time. She's fighting with him now. And now he's already done stroked out. They saved him, of course, because they got all this stuff to save you. But They can't save your condition or what's going to happen afterwards. That's the thing. And I don't know. I feel it's silly. If you don't want to be with one another, don't prolong it. Don't wait till hits climax. Because eventually someone's going to be in a hospital or they're going to be like poor Richie and they're going to have a stroke and that's going to be it. Because us as medical people, yeah, we could save your life, I guess. Yeah, but can we save the quality of your life? Probably not. You're going to be in a nursing facility. It's that, or and then Richie's probably going to be in a nursing home eventually, and his son has to take care of him, and they're doing all that arguing for him just to end up in a nursing home. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. I have a decent job, but I want a job under these conditions? I always encourage people not to stress themselves out because it's not good for your heart. That it is not. When you got all these people stroking out because of stress, and the heart doctor himself even admitted to it. He said that Richie didn't have a thing wrong with him. Not one thing was wrong with that man. It was stress. And my husband, because he was the maintenance guy for these apartment buildings for like 30 years, would sit there and he would be stressed out, and Rob would always tell him. He would say, you need to calm down. You need to calm down all the time. And he would say that, and he was like, oh, what about you and your wife? He's like, we don't argue like that. And she just ended up in a bad way. It's sad. It really makes me sad, too. I just hate to see sad stories, and I like to warn people of why it's important not to be stressed out. And this is what I do. I was having kind of stressed out when I came home. I came home and I drew poop, and my stress went away. Sometimes it's better to do it without pills. Don't depend on pills all the time. Yeah, I do be abusing sometimes this mushroom complex, but it's not like I'm getting stoned out of my mind. It's just more of a relaxer type thing, and it does relax you. So that it does. And there's nothing wrong with being relaxed. We're supposed to be relaxed. We're supposed to not be stressing ourselves out. And if you're in a stressful situation, it's always good to have an outlet. Always. Have an outlet. I don't care if it's listening to music. Listening to music's a great outlet. Go on YouTube. Go listen to Wiz Khalifa or whatever you need to listen to. Get it out. They're always yapping about love and peace and stuff, those guys. Maybe if that's your thing, do it. So. Oh, God. You're funny. I'm glad you like me, but no, I don't. I'm never leaving Rob. I don't believe in, unless it's really necessary, I don't believe in leaving somebody. And I do, and every medical professional has stress. Everyone. I'm still thinking about maybe going to phlebotomy classes since I'm living till I'm 100. I think I would be good at sticking needles in people. I am good at bothering people, so I'm thinking I would be good at taking their blood. And things like this don't bother me. I'm around blood and all that all the damn time anyways. Looking at wounds and this and that. So I don't think it would bother me. Phlebotomy could be in my future. And really, like I said, since COVID happened, it's been happy days for us because thanks to Mr. Trump, we never lost our raise over here in America. Never have we lost our raise. I actually am making more than I ever made because of Trump. Because when we were mandated, it was terrible. And then they were thinking about not even, when everyone else lost their raise, we were the ones stuck in the whole thing. There was nurses that had low immune systems that was dying. But the universe keeps me healthy. I was involved in all kinds of it. I was around COVID for 2 years up in that bubble. I would wear my pajamas to work. Honestly. You had to have a damn suit on like you were at the zombie apocalypse. I thought it was zombie hour. Just to see the people. Then I had to since I'm Catholic and they were dying, I had to pray over some of them. It was crazy times. And then they kept sending us food. Thank you. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you. It was like, damn. Every time I turn around, there'd be damn cookies or something for us. All the time. There's some people that still wear masks because they're afraid. But I'm here to tell you guys, COVID done evolved. And all of these viruses, they're like people. They get married, they have babies after a while. And there's babies of COVID out there, and these are are these different flu strains. And it's actually good to have COVID. I had all of my shots, but I still had COVID 3 times. But I had no symptoms. But you know what? I'm always open to have the new flus because your body, once it has the new flu and you were fine after your new flu, it knows how to fight it off. A couple of my friends that always wear masks at work, I used to tell them, I was like, I don't know why you keep wearing that shit. They've been in the hospital because they've been wearing these damn masks for so long. ER is fired. I don't know how that happened. Maybe it's this mushroom serum. Who the hell knows? Or the weed. It's something. But yeah, that's how this happens, and I know everybody is trying to be precautious, but I'm not saying go out there and rub up and have someone cough on you, like my mom did for chicken pox, but she was sometimes a nut job like that. But I'm saying, don't be afraid of it. Get it. Get the first strain of it. Because if you get the first strain of anything, it's the weakest. And then you know how to fight off. They say all the babies that are born now are going to have immunity to COVID now. But the one thing we did is we separated everyone saying how horrible this is. So now there's this pneumonia thing going around, and when the older population gets it, they're dying. And then a lot of people didn't get the shots that they gave out. I got them all. But now everybody's ending up in ICU. And they have heart problems because they didn't let their body get acquainted with COVID enough. I'm not wearing a mask my whole life. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I don't give a damn. That's where I'm at. But I've been around every time there's a COVID room. These crazy friends of mine are afraid to walk in the room and this and yada yada. They have those stupid oh my god, I forgot the name of them. There's these rubber purses that are like $100. God, it's Blog or something like that. And I just thought they were cute. I thought you can get it on Amazon for $30 or $40. And then one of my friends like, oh no, Michelle, these are like $100. I was like, for effing what? And they're it's a damn rubber purse. I'm like, I am good. And they're just telling me how fashionable they are, and everybody in nursing is getting these damn things. I'm like, I'm good. It's like, y'all just keep your whatever purses you got going on. But I don't know. I guess if you have one of these purses, it's okay. But just so you know, rubber is not that great of a material, and I just felt like if they're gonna they're gonna charge $100 for this, that possibly they could have used something besides rubber. That's all I'm saying. Because I get it, everybody wants to be fashionable, but rubber's too. It's just too much to try to get rubber going here. I'm just rubbing in all of the stuff that I sketched in with a pencil. It's just turning out lovely. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it I'll get good enough of this, and then my grandbaby can have all of the Winnie the Pooh theme, and then maybe I'll do the Goofies and everything. They could have, because my older son loves Disney. Okay. I'm gonna fade out his hair. His Eeyore guy looks stylish. Maybe I'll get Eeyore $100 purse too. There we go. That's all you gotta do. And you can make something so beautiful. They're so cheap. So cheap. All I did is a poster board and some pastels and a pencil. But I'm going to try to do a whole series of these. This way I got some for the grandbaby. And then my younger son, he'd be looking at my skulls all the time. And my reapers. I don't generally like to give them away because Reefy is my favorite. My absolute favorite is Reefy. And I actually want to get better at doing stuff just to get better with the Reaper. I think he's awesome. I mean, these are good, but it's just not me. It's just these are what people are requesting. But I like Disney, but not like... I do love Disney, but I do love my dark sketches better. And there we go. I even smoothed it out more. Now it looks like a nice little picture. Alright. I'm probably going to take me now a little break and eat. Make myself some food. And I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do Christopher Robin. Maybe I'll do another ticker. Maybe that's that I will do there. Oh, this healthy food they got me eating. I call it the grub. It has the global foods, and my mother-in-law brings them over. It's supposed to keep me healthy. Because everybody wants me to live till I live forever, which I'm going to die, but it is what it is. Probably some chicken stuff. And I'm going to come back and make more Walt Disney since I got the baby coming. And my son will probably have me up at that house with the baby every damn day through the week. So I might as well prepare. And for a happy picture hour, and they're going to parade me around like a show pony for this expensive ass baby shower. It's Brandon to have a damn baby shower that's $17,000. Who has a baby shower like that with a professional photographer? I feel like I'm going to another wedding. I don't know. I'll probably try to maybe stream outside when I get there because I'm sure somebody's gonna piss me off. I can't have the pregnant one all pissed off. I gotta keep her okay because my son wants to make sure his baby's doing just fine. So I'll try to behave, but I'll be back after I eat. Thank you for everything, and I'll see you when I'm done eating.